I looked at the court documents and I emailed every single lawyer for Amber Heard, which was quite a few. And then I faxed them afterwards. I've had a lot of unusual problems since I've started making Amber Heard videos, and I'm just going to cover exactly what I put in the letter today because not all of them are in this letter. May 13th, 2022. To the legal counsel of Amber Laura Heard, I would like to let you know about coercion, intimidation, and interference I endured by Johnny Depp, which evidently resulted from my 3.5 years of endeavoring to have him ejected from the movie industry. It seems natural to me that Johnny Depp would similarly intimidate witnesses in the case of John C. Depp II versus Amber Laura Heard, civil action number CL 2019 0002911. I began a campaign against Johnny Depp's employment in the movie industry after I watched a video called Can Fantastic Beasts 2 Survive Johnny Depp?, which was sent to me from one of my YouTube subscriptions in November 2018. I was angered to learn he was still working on big budget movies after his widely covered domestic violence against Amber Heard. Right then and there, I began to post in YouTube video comment sections urging people not to support his career. I did this monumentally. I protested at Johnny Depp's Hollywood Vampires concert on May 14th, 2019 in Denver, Colorado at the Fillmore Auditorium and uploaded it to YouTube, thus commencing what became the Amber Heard playlist, which is now a combination of some one playlist and some multi-playlist videos that have occupied up to 7 YouTube channels with some content in English, Spanish, Hindi, and French. I talk about civil rights law and women's legal issues on the channel, which are subjects I have studied a lot. When I first began the Amber Heard playlist, it was displayed alongside my law playlist, Self-Representation in Court United States, which was the #1 search result on Google and YouTube for self-representation and self-representation in court. My experience with Johnny Depp was, while traveling from Laramie, Wyoming, where I live, and heading to Denver, Colorado, I stopped in Fort Collins, Colorado, and went to a few garage sales. Johnny Depp appeared driving out of a neighborhood of regular, unremarkable tract homes. I discern from this happening where I do not live and in a place of no real note that the message is intended to be more threatening than if it was where I live, in effect declaring, I know everywhere you go. I pretended not to notice. I have had a stalker since the early 1990s, and I do this automatically as an acquired behavior. This incident happened 3 days after I uploaded a Spanish language video on the Amber Heard playlist, which was July 5th, 2021, about Johnny Depp's racism, in which he told Amber Heard that he would have black and Mexican men rape her. Johnny looked every inch as I recalled him looking at the UK trial, Depp v. News Group Newspapers Limited, 2020, EWHC, 2911, Queen's Bench, with wild, untamed hair and dressed in black, probably a suit, and maybe the same one from the trial. The effect this incident had on me, and I presume it was intended to have had, is to generate the suspicion anytime a bad thing happens that Johnny Depp arranged it. Some notable examples are: I had an extremely close call when someone pulled out of a gas station right in front of me, intentionally while looking right at me. I barely stopped in time, and then they were vocally frenetic and said something that made no sense in the light of the situation about me having a problem because of being an extreme feminist. I do not remember the exact words. Not very long after the sighting in Fort Collins. There was an encounter on a bus that also made me wonder, and then 2 or 3 weeks ago I had someone hit and run me with my car not moving while I was in it. Because of my stalker and also because I can't prove anything from what happened with Johnny Depp's appearance to even be a violation of the law, I did not contact you before. My stalker in the last few years has become more threatening again after an extended period of relative quiet since the early 2000s, I suspect because of my activities with the Amber Heard playlist putting me before the public and because of what I talk about. Believe me when I tell you my stalker is very dangerous. Though I thought I would not say anything before, I feel compelled to now, as I watch the witnesses at the trial and wonder if Johnny Depp has intimidated them. I will likely start to talk about it in videos, though I know I will be called a liar and crazy. If you think about this incident, telling what happened makes the person who tells it sound crazy, so they will not tell people. On its face, most people can't see why it would happen. The incident does not appear to be unlawful as it was a single event, at least as far as I could reasonably prove, even if a judge believed my version of events, which is highly unlikely. I would like to let the court know about this if you think it is useful. Please contact me if you have any interest. I also will contact you because I do not know if you will get this in time or how much email you get and if it will be buried in an email account that is very full. Teresa L. Dowling.